let's add these rascals to the list. So we want to build a list item, right? We know how to do that. Let's make a const li, document create element. We do this all the time. It's an li. And we want to set its text content to the name, right? What we have here is this entire student object that also has an ID. So we'll say student.name. Now make sure that build list item actually returns something. So return the li. Now we need to append it to the list, right? So we need to grab the list. The list, you may recall, has an ID of student-list. So after we build the list item, we could do a document.querySelector. Pass in that ID. Don't forget, hash is how you do an ID selector. But I have another idea for how to do this. First of all, let's go ahead and set this as a property of the MegaRoster object. Up here we have max that we initialize at 0. Let's make another property called this.studentList. Let's set that equal to document query selector hash student list. So then down here, we can just say this.studentList append child this build list item student. We could save the list item to a variable first, or we could do it all in one line like this. I don't know which you prefer. You could say const list item equals this build list item student. Just slightly easier to follow. Append child list item. Doesn't matter that we called it list item here and li here, right? Those are just local variable names in the respective functions. Doesn't matter that they happen to point to the same object. Now if we did this right, that should work. Billy, I was just going for a walk. I know all your names. Billy, oh man, look at that. It doesn't clear it out. This is starting to tick me off. We are definitely going to have to do something about that sooner or later. Trenton, Claytron. Gosh dang it. Can't even do it when I'm thinking about it. Clayton, Ryan. Cool. Seems to be working. This is good news. Now, also notice when we refresh the page, I can't just start typing. It doesn't put the cursor in that box automatically. And that kind of ticks me off too. So let's do something about that as well. First, I can go ahead and commit this. Add students to the unordered list. Now there's a really easy way to make it automatically focus that field when the page loads. HTML5 gives us an extra attribute that we can put on an input. It doesn't need a value. It's just called autofocus. So when a field has the attention of the cursor, we say it's focused. When it doesn't, it's blurred. So to focus is to put the cursor in there. To blur is to put the attention somewhere else by like clicking outside of it. So now with autofocus there, with it saved, if I refresh, my cursor's there right off the bat. I can just start typing. Pretty nice. Now also notice I can just keep adding students with no names. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So let's make it so that they can't submit the form until they type something in there. We can just add another attribute. This is again an HTML5 thing. Required. Again, it doesn't need a value. And most browsers will enforce that. Again, if you want to be sure and you have a server-side app, you'll want to check that before you start writing to a database. But this will do for us. If I try typing something in there now, or excuse me, try submitting without putting anything in there, I'll get a little message, please fill out this field, and it will not submit. So that's Chrome doing that. But pretty much all modern browsers do that. Very nice. So what do we do? Autofocus the name input and require. Autofocus and require the name input. Very good. Push it real good.